There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails hold their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights, they've seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the south to roam around the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but that land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. Though he'd often say in his homely way, I'd sooner live in hell. On Christmas Day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold through the parka's folded stab like a driven nail. If our eyes would close, then the lashes they froze, till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel to toe. He turns to me and Cap, says he, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking you won't refuse my last request. Well, friend's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. We started on at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He was tied to the sleigh, and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. Before nightfall, a corpse was all that remained of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, so I hurried, horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was tied to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, you may tax your bronze and brains, but you promised true, so it's up to you to cremate those last remains. Now, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I cursed that load. The long, long night by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows. God, how I loathe that thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow. But on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to that hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake LaBarge, and there a derelict lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a thrice it was called the Alice May. I looked at it, and I thought a bit. And I looked at my frozen chum. Then here, said I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. That furnace roared, the flames they soared, such a blaze you seldom see. And I burrowed a hole in the glowing coals, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, for I did not like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens howled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, and that hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. That greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll take just a peek inside. I guess he's cooked. It's time I looked, and that door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. He wore a smile you could see a mile, and he said, please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, this is the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails hold their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights, they've seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge I cremated Sam McGee.